Akron Buzz, everyone. I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm thrilled to talk with Brendan Daniel Smith. Hi, Brendan. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am just fine. And Brendan is the owner of DS Food Prep Company. And we have a little bit of history. I don't know Brendan that well, but my husband does because he actually took guitar lessons from him like a million years ago. I think he said 15 years ago, but it's good to know you're still doing music. We love to hear that, still involved in music. And so I just want to hear all about how you got into this. What made you want to start a food prep company?
Okay, so I've always had the idea of doing something. I didn't know what that something was. Around like 19 or 18 or so, I applied at Bar 145 downtown Kent when it was still open, and I wanted to do security, but being 19, they were like, you're gonna let your friends in,
right,
your brothers in, those sorts of things. So they're like, well, we have openings in our kitchen. So I'm like, I don't really cook that much, but sure.
Could try it.
Yeah, so then after like a year or so, I was already up to the level of line lead, which is like, people who had been there 2 or 3 years, hadn't made it to that point.
Wow.
So the chef was kind of like, you might have something here, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna exhaust this, work my way through school, the normal 19, 20-year-old mindset. But then I become head chef at 20, so it's like, well, do you go to school still, or do you work 70 hours a week, as a head chef?
Right.
So I took the professional route, and at the time it seemed, like it might have not been the right idea, because I could have been done with school by this point. But I think now, 7 years later, I would not change anything I've done. So then, Bar 145 closed down. I started working for different types of chefs, vegan chefs, which is at a winery out in Aurora called Thorn Creek. Very, prestigious winery. It definitely opened my eyes to different styles of food.
Right,
because she was a vegan, so we definitely subbed out a lot of things. So then from there, I went back to working at Jimmy John's, unfortunately.
So you got to take those jobs sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. So I managed for a year or so, and then I was like, my brother works at Kent State. He said, well, you should just come work here. They have benefits, this, that, and the third. And I was like, okay, well, I'll apply. I go into the interview, and Kent State was like, well, looking at your resume, what you're applying for doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? You should work at this level. So again, I come into a new job at a higher level than a lot of people have been there, with the experience for a while. And then we started to experience layoffs, which, is normal business for schools.
Sure.
But coronavirus started to hit. So then our layoffs began to extend. So we got laid off last November, and they were like, you won't be back until January. Well, I still have bills to pay. I coach. I still have T-shirts to buy for my team,
Sure.
all the stuff I normally do. So I was like, how can I end company with, unemployment when it was, a thing for us? How can I still make money, but still stick to my roots, my morals, things like that? And I was like, well, you already cook, you know what I mean? So why not just cook? Like, it's already what you do for a living. So I just randomly one day was like, hey, I'm going to sell tacos. And everybody was like, oh, yeah, I'll order some. So I ended up making like $300 or $400 in one weekend. I was like, oh, well, if I can do this off of one meal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can I expand from that to then offer a service itself? You know what I mean? So I can be my own self-sustained business. So I just sat down. I talked a lot with my girlfriend and my family. And, they were like, food prep is a very big thing right now. Everybody's, watching their weight and watching their sodium intake, things like that. So I used all of my experience, even working as an assistant GM while being a head chef. There was a lot of things I had to do along the way. But now I know the business side of it, a little better. I'm not saying I know it all. I'm still learning, every day I get off of work and watch videos and read and, try to grow in that aspect of it, because it's not just cooking.
Yeah.
But then I started there. I gained a couple, clients that are still weekly clients. And then now it expanded to, well, how can I reinvest in my own community?
Right,
I mean? So I started off branding, myself, T-shirts, stickers, lunch bags, all types of things, you know what I mean? To really get yourself out there. It's almost like free marketing at that point because people are going to wear these t-shirts, they're going to carry water bottles around, they're going to do these things in normal life. So it started off there, and then now with still coaching my 2 teams I coach, I, look to sponsoring a 3rd team, eventually in the fall, just to continue to grow our community stamp, because Kent is not a huge community, but it has a lot of community values. So that was just my whole thought process on top of working a 40-hour job. You know what I mean? It's just like, how can I do this, maximize my time? And then now it's grown into, a bigger operation of what I expected this quickly, But
absolutely.
I'm excited.
I think it's really cool how so many people, obviously the pandemic was a horrible thing that happened. It's affected so many lives. Sure. But on the flip side, there have been so many people who have really used their gifts and their talents and their resources during this time to make it happen. And it's just really cool. And I love hearing those stories of, the positive things that, this really difficult time kind of pushed out there. Like it forced you to have to think about starting this business, and now it's become a really cool thing for you.
Yes, for sure.
So that's really, really great. So I love, you talked a lot about mission, and that's really your passion in this company, is to give back to your community. And can you just share with us a little bit about why you're so passionate about the mission behind it?
Because I have worked for a lot of different owners who were so money driven, and that's great and all, but you don't build a strong base on that. You get those one-time customers and they're like, oh, the food was good, but if I can bring you back every week at a lower price, I'll do that, because then we have a relationship. You see what I'm saying? And that's just how, I was raised to be, so
yeah.
that's
and
just,
I love,
how I grew the company, for sure.
Yeah, I love that you are giving back through coaching. And are you coaching? Is it football teams that you're coaching, or what are you coaching?
So actually, I coach football, soccer, and basketball throughout the season. So pretty much year round. Right now, it's soccer. I coach my nephew's team, which is 10-year-olds, and then I coach my niece's team, which is 4 and 5-year-olds.
Oh my gosh!
So it's giving me a huge contrast between the two, but it's cool to see, where my nephew is now, and they started off at the age where his sister is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To start over, so it still keeps me, active mentally, still keeps me, detached from just focusing on the business, just focusing on work, stressing about regular life. So I just love it, truthfully.
And you're able to just get into your community a little bit and be with those kids and be with those families. That's really great. All right, so you mentioned the merchandise. So go ahead and talk to us a little bit about that, and share with us how we could pick up some merchandise, and then also how we can contact you if we're interested in, using your company for food prep, or just talking to you about any other services you have.
Okay, so just how it started, like I said, just wanted to brand the idea, so it was more than just a food company.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I just want to be able to wear, my own shirts, like just me personally. Well, then, my mother being the mother she is, a very thinking person, which she wanted me to make sure I said this. She has her PhD now, so Mom, I said that.
There you go, Mom. That's for you.
So very much so, being the person she is, she was like, well, why don't you, send us some shirts? You know what I mean? So I started looking into the cost of just printing them.
Yeah.
So then it made more sense for me to do them in home, which, like I said, every step of this is done myself, from the menu planning to the t-shirts that go on the t-shirts to the stickers that go on the containers. All of it is me. So I started looking into it, and I was like, for me to order these shirts, I would be almost having to charge people $20, $25 like other people are doing that print shirts.
Sure.
And I was like, well, to still align with my affordable values, that I'm trying to offer, why not just print them? Yes, it's going to take some long nights, early mornings, but you can get them done. So now I offer, shirts that are, gray, orange, yellow, black. There's going to be activewear, tank tops as well.
Cool.
Lunch bags. So you can. Right now, we are taking orders for our pop-up shop on the 8th of May, which will be here in Kent. If you look on our Facebook page, the address and flyer are there. Then also you can contact me through either the Facebook page, Instagram. I also have for the company, and then our website. So as soon as you click on the website, there's something for you to fill out, so you can fill out any questions, that you would have, any inquiries, and then you can click through like the pricing plan so you can see what they offer. Now they do say like lunch and breakfast or lunch and dinner. You can use the meals however you see fit. It is a very client-based company, so if you want 14 of the same meal, that's what I'll do. You know what I mean? That's just whatever your preference is. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So
that's
right
great.
now we are taking pre-orders to be picked up there, just so I can have time to print them all. Because like I said, it's definitely picked up a lot. Luckily, we are coming up on a layoff from Kent State, here soon. So it'll give me more time to really focus into the business for the summer. So that's what we're doing. Then after that, they will be available on the website after May 8th. So that way I can take my time and print as many as I can get out. So that way I can take the orders, online at that point. So that's how you can get in contact with me. Also on there is my phone number for a direct line to me, call, text, whatever you feel comfortable with. FaceTime, I answer. So yeah, email, I answer it all. It's all right here in my hands.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So go ahead and share with us the website. Tell us what that is.
The website is DS Food Prep, dsfoodprep.com, I believe, or dsfoodprepco.com, I believe. Sorry.
No, that's fine. You know what?
It is DS Food Prep.
We will check it all, and we'll make sure to put it all in the lower third so that everyone can read it at the bottom.
If you Google it, you can Google the company. It comes up right there at the top. It spells out how we are LLC, everything. So, we are, under, insurances. So you have not much to worry about. I do want to stress that this is designed to be an in-home service. Due to COVID, it cannot be so much in-home. But it is designed for you to feel as if you have your own private personal chef, week to week. If you can't afford to do it for the whole month, at least for that week, you know what I mean? You don't have to worry about cooking. All the prep is done for you. So I just want to stress that. I did the same thing when I talked with Director Curry, just makes people understand this is a private chef service. You're not purchasing the food from me directly. It's just the service for me doing the shopping and menu prep and all of that.
Right.
So
great.
Just so people understand. And I'm looking forward to future business, future people that see this.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for watching, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds super interesting, and I love that it's kind of unique. I feel like we don't hear about a food prep company very often, so I think it's going to go places. Sure. It's exciting, so I'm excited for you.
I appreciate it.
And we'll definitely put all that information up so people can find you. Thank you so much, Brendan, for being here with me today. I had a great time with you.
Thank you. Same here.
And thank you guys so much for being here with me today. We had a great time on Akron Buzz. We're just so glad to be back in the studio. And you can find us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. You can also find us on Facebook and follow our page. And we have a brand new Roku channel, so check us out there. Bye, everyone.